How in the world do we get started in servant evangelism? That question is asked to me very often. People that I think had an idea of how to do this stuff say, "Can I ask a simple little question over here in the corner?" And I believe there are no bad questions, and so I always entertain that. And I say, there is lots of ways that we can do these things, and we can begin to get into the essence of what it is to reach out beyond ourselves. Well, let me give you a few simple ideas here. First of all, ask God for His creative mind in reaching your community. We need to get into the creativity of all creativities, which is God's heart itself. We go in, we probe, and we say, God, show me your heart, because I am at an end in my own creativity very quickly. I'm not a very ultimately creative person myself, and none of us are really all that creative. We are creative only to the degree that God has made us creative. But if we go and we avail ourselves to God, there's no end to what can become of that. And we begin to see things as God sees them, and incredibly exciting things can begin to happen. Secondly, start with projects that are the most likely to succeed. And again, as I have said before in other tapings on this site, on Serve Coach, you can go to servantevangelism.com and you can get a matrix of projects there. You go there and just put in the weather type you are experiencing, the part of the city you're in, if you're going to a school, if you're going to a business arena, whatever it may be. You can come up with a whole bunch of different ideas for approaching aspects of your city where you can go in and you can serve, in a great possibility of being highly successful will abound there. Thirdly, start with small goals. You don't have to go in there and do something that's going to be highly difficult or challenging. Start with something that's going to be more likely than not to be successful, and do something that's going to be itsy bitsy instead of gigantic. I believe that small things done with great love will change the world. And those small things tend to be things that are not all that complicated, that are all that typically elementary versus complicated. So go in there and try with that perspective in mind. Start with the diversity of servant evangelism projects and see what works well in your city. Go in there and check out the things that are going around and test out the things that are going to test well in your city, and see what in the world will work, and don't be committed to the things that are not working very well. You don't have to hold on to things very tightly that aren't seeming like they're bearing fruit. Go with the things that are bearing good fruit, and drop the things that aren't bearing fruit, or at least examine them and see what in the world doesn't seem like it's bearing fruit with it, and change those parts and go on things that do bear fruit. Maybe a water giveaway at a street corner after a athletic event would be a good idea, or maybe going and giving away flowers at a elderly section of the city where people are in need of some light into their day, or maybe going and washing windshields would be an idea. All sorts of different ideas. Go to the matrix section of servantevangelism.com and check out what you can see there and what ideas are going on there. Another idea, pastors and leaders in the local church are absolutely essential for getting in touch with what is going to work in terms of your local outreach going well. People do what they see. They do not do what they are told. They do not do what they are verbalized. The yakety yak does not work all that well. But the people of your church, I can guarantee, I don't know them necessarily, but I can tell you this much, is they will do what they are experiencing, what they are being escorted down the pathway toward the eventual goal is. And so you as a leader, you as a pastor, as you link arms with those people and you go with them hand in hand, arm in arm, you will discover that they will go with you as you are going that way in the same direction, being excited about the same virtual things. But they will not do the things you talk about, especially as time goes on. You lose your credibility as time escapes you. So go along the pathway and see what in the world you can dredge up, and see if God will bless you along that way and does things that will be exciting and incredibly fulfilling for all of you that are involved in it. Commit to 6 months minimum in doing these things. I have seen this over and over and over again. The people in the local church who commit to 6 months of doing these projects are the ones who live these things out and have an incredibly exciting time. This is a ministry where people who live these projects out, and they get involved and they get up to their earlobes in commitment. It doesn't take a forever commitment. It's 6 months, just 6 months of your church's time. And you don't have to drop everything else. Just put this in the foray of all that's going on in your church and see what in the world God will do. I tell you, you will be incredibly surprised. You will be shocked off of your earlobes again as you see the great fruit that will come back your way after 6 months of commitment. And then lastly, create connect cards that will help people that you are connecting with find their way back into your church as they are being touched, as they are being somehow creatively affected by the love of Christ, that kindness of God that is flowing from you out into the byways and the hedges of your city. And then finally, I have lots more ideas here to share. But I got to tell you, I've run out of time, and you probably run out of patience with me here sharing in this video. But there's lots more to share, lots more that I'd like to talk about. But stay tuned here at servecoach.com, and I will get back to you in the not too distant future, and we will spend a few more minutes together. We will have more fun than we've had recently, almost illegal amounts of fun we will have, because we are enjoying the presence of the Lord, and we are enjoying the idea that God is kind, and there is none like him as we go our way through life. God bless you, and we'll talk to you real soon.